Fleetwood are just getting every single one, and like you said, there's no confidence from Vale there at all.
Here's Coughlin, edge of the penalty area, left side. Bought a free kick out of Curtis there, just a little coming together between the two of them, but Coughlin felt Curtis right to his kind of rear right side, and then knew that any kind of touch would result in a free kick, and was only too happy to oblige. So it'll mean Fleetwood have a free kick just outside the penalty area, about 10 yards away from the byline on the left. And it's the number 20, Harrison Neal, who is over the ball, and this is going to be dangerous because he's got a good delivery here as the Fleetwood captain, and let's see what he can do with it. Vale brought everyone back for this, and it is Neal who sends it square and looks for Helm, who tries to create room. Great ball and great goal. It's a really well-worked free kick from Fleetwood, and Vale were not alive to it whatsoever. It was played to Helm, who curled in a ball through to the far post. There were a couple of players there, and it ended up burying itself in the back of the net. No blame attached to Amos for that. He couldn't really see any of it. I think there was a Vale player who tried to just get enough on it to stop it going in, but it just wasn't enough. And here, Fleetwood have the lead. It's Vale 0, Fleetwood 1.
It is, and I was planning for the next time for you to come to me, for me to say about how Vale are starting to play with fire. It seems to be wave after wave of attack, and at some point it's going to come back and bite on them. And there it is.
Drop deep out towards the right side, just looking for someone to give him the ball, because I think he feels that's the nearest he's going to get to it all night. Ojo plays a lovely ball over the top to Shipley, who's done really well. It's Jordan Shipley. It's 1-1. It's a great finish from Jordan Shipley, but it's an excellent ball from Funzo Ojo, who has made a little bit of a movement like a golf putter in the centre circle, but it was such a fantastic ball from Ojo right over the top to Shipley, who made an equally good run, and it was a difficult technique to bring it down just inside the box on the left, but he was completely unmarked, and he poked it past the onrushing goalkeeper to level it up at 1-1. Vale 1, Fleetwood 1.
And we talk about the class and the quality that Vale have got across the pitch, and that's exactly what we've just seen. Like you said, the vision from Funzo Ojo to see Jordan
clear down the left, and it's a good piece of work from Jaheim Headley, and Dejan Brown is onside here from a ball over the top, and Brown could put Vale in front. It's Brown, it's 2-1, and Vale have turned things around in the space of 2 minutes here, and Dejan Brown sprang the offside trap with a ball over the top from one end to the other as Jesse Deborah made an excellent challenge, and then the ball over the top released Dejan Brown, who was onside, sprinted clear and drew the goalkeeper out before rolling it in at the near post, and Vale have turned things around. It's Port Vale 2, Fleetwood 1.
Yeah, and that's what I was just about to say. What Vale were missing from the first half, they brought into the second half by bringing Deborah and Connor Hall on. We're talking about that stability. They're back in the one and need to win the ball back, and that's exactly what we've seen from Jesse Deborah. He's made the mistake higher up the pitch before, working really hard to get back and win the ball back before to start that sort of counter-attacking play. And like I said, Dejan Brown has just beat the offside trap, and he's found himself free on goal, and he's just been calm and composed in front of goal.
There's a lad who was... poor soul is absolutely drenched out there as Fleetwood play the ball up to the edge of the penalty area. Davis trying to create room for a shot. He'll tee it back up, and it'll come out to this left side to Medley, who puts his shot in, and he will equalise. And that will be an equaliser for Fleetwood. And Vale just again didn't pick up the man at the back post, and it was Medley who smashed the ball in past Amos at the near post to mean it is 2-2 here. Yeah. With a penalty shootout, but that might not be the case if Fleetwood win it, because here is Helm just outside the penalty area. He's going to touch it to the left to Bonds, and Fleetwood have won it, you know, because they've buried a third goal. They might not well have won it yet, but they've gone in front here with 7 minutes left, and Fleetwood lead by 3 goals to 2
from the first
and again
half. There has been a bit of a rocket up the you-know-wheres for most of the players, and it's come to fruition. You know, they've scored their 2 goals within quick succession in this half, but the 2 lapses just means Fleetwood have got back in.
Payton laying the ball off to Byers. Now Curtis out wide to the right to Deborah. 87 gone. Vale trail 3-2. Out wide to the right to George Hall. Might look to stand a cross up. Goes back to Deborah. Deborah trying to dig the ball out of his feet to do so. Back to the right to George Hall. Fleetwood got plenty of players back, twisting and turning. Deborah tries to put in a cross. It will come here for Payton, will it? No, it will drop for Ojo just outside the penalty area. Now Headley looking for Ojo in support just outside the area on the right. There rolls a lovely ball in for Hall, who lashes the ball into the net. A really good finish from an acute angle from George Hall. It came from, again, a lovely ball from Headley, and then Ojo involved too, but played through to George Hall, who ran across his marker, and then from a really acute angle on the left manages to divert the ball across the goalkeeper into the top corner on the opposite side, and we're back level again. It's Vale 3, Fleetwood 3.
Back on for penalties now, Phil. But yeah, what a well-taken goal there from George Hall, and the really small angle, tight angle that he's had to score from, and the only way he can do that is lifting it into the roof of the net.
So Vale and Fleetwood. So it will be Fleetwood to go first, and it is Helm who will shoot and score. And so Fleetwood have opened the scoring in the penalty shootout through Mark Helm, who opened the scoring in this game what seems like a lifetime ago, Meg Baldwin. It does seem like a lifetime ago, and a lot of goals ago now, and the game has completely changed from Helm's opening goal to George Hall's closing goal onto these penalty shootouts. So Jaden Stockley now to draw Vale level in the shootout. The number 9 lines up the ball and will hit it, and Harrington will save. And Jaden Stockley has had no luck, no supply tonight, but it doesn't really seem to bother him that much to walk away from it. I'm sure he will be bothered, but he's pretty much had the same body language all night, Jaden Stockley, and I don't blame him because he's had a torrid night. I think, if anything, he's probably kicking himself sort of a chance to put the ball in the back of the net. I love that from Curtis, running out to him, just put a bit of an arm around him, but you can see he's frustrated with himself, shaking his head, and body language, like you said. So it will be Will Davis, who is the Fleetwood number 9, up against Ben Amos, to take this and put Fleetwood 2-1 up in the penalty shootout in what's been a sodden night at Vale Park. It is Davis, and he will dispatch that into the bottom corner to give Fleetwood a 2-0 lead, I beg your pardon, in the shootout. And Ronan Curtis, who is no stranger to taking penalties, he scored the winner from the spot in the 2-1 win over Mansfield here, which remains Vale's only league home win of the season, and he will be stepping up to take this one in the shootout here. Fleetwood lead 2-0 in the shootout now, and Curtis is ready to take this penalty and against David Harrington, the Fleetwood Town goalkeeper, who is not their regular first choice. I must point out Jay Lynch, who is their first choice, is on the bench. Ronan Curtis just saying to the referee, what am I supposed to do? The wind is blowing the ball off the spot. But now it will be Curtis to step up and score Vale's first goal in the shootout, and he will hit it via the goalkeeper's palms into the roof of the net, and Harrington got near to that but couldn't have enough on it due to the power that Curtis put behind it. Yeah, good penalty with the power that is behind it, but placement not so much. It's just sort of fortunate, like you said, it's gone via his palms. He's not been able to do enough to keep the ball out, and it is now 2-1 to Fleetwood as Ben Amos steps into the goal. Yeah, and it'll be Ryan Graydon, who is a second half substitute, who is a good goal scorer at League 2 level. He is over the ball now for Fleetwood for this penalty shootout, for them to take a 3-1 lead in this, and it'll be Graydon against Ben Amos, and Graydon steps up and will beat Amos, who dived to his left, but Graydon went down to his right, and Rory Payton will now step up to take the resultant penalty for Port Vale. So Fleetwood now leading by 3-1 in this. And I do like our colleagues from Radio Lancashire really invested in this, aren't they? They're really excited over this. I'm actually really struggling to concentrate a little bit because all I can hear is Lancashire. He's very, very excited. You're right that you've got me in between them. Here's Rory Payton, will step up and will dispatch it past Harrington away down to his left, and that means that it is now 3-2 in the shootout. And I'm running out of paper here. I've actually started drawing the penalties in the wrong spot, really, so I've left myself very little room to write this down on my pad. Factoring those in for these Vertu Trophy games. I know. I don't often have to go through the thrill of a penalty shootout when it comes to Vale. But yeah, you sound thrilled as well. It's a long way home, innit? 10 minutes. Anyway, here's Ennis, and will dispatch the ball past Amos for Fleetwood's fourth penalty to take a 4-2 lead in this, and George Byers will now step up, and I love how some of the stewards can't watch. I think there's the loudest noise we've heard all night. I think somebody's just banged one of the seats in the Fleetwood end, and some of the stewards have gone over and looking a little bit concerned. It's probably the most exciting thing that's happened all night, to be blunt, but anyway. Byers over to take this throw. The crowd stands hushed in anticipation as George Byers against Harrington, and will blaze it over the bar, and Fleetwood will go through, and Vale will also go through, in case you were wondering, for a bit of dramatic licence. It wasn't really worth it in the end because an entirely academic penalty shootout ends with Fleetwood winning, and it will also mean that Vale will go through, as will Fleetwood, through to the next round of the EFL Trophy. We are just about out of time tonight. Don't forget